for all of your patience. Mr. Mayor, thanks so much for staying with us. I do
Thank
want to
you.
revisit the question that we were asking shortly before we lost you surrounding what happened in court today. I know that last week, after that memo from the DOJ directing prosecutors to drop your charges, you said that we could put this chapter behind us, but there was no decision from the judge today in that hearing. How do you feel about where things stand and having to wait further for that ultimate decision in the case?
Well, it's all part of the process. The wheels of justice grind slow, but exceedingly fine. And, we have to respect the process. And as I stated over and over again, I am confident that it is going to be found that I did nothing wrong and justice is going to prevail. And I have a great attorney. He's doing his job. My focus has continuously been on running the city and really fighting on behalf of working class people.
Now, today's hearing did happen because there was pushback from federal prosecutors, several of them even resigning rather than move to drop your charges late last week, in part of what because they say was a deal between you and the Trump administration. So I'll ask you point blank, is there any deal between you or your lawyers and the federal government about cooperating or collaborating on immigration enforcement or any other fronts in exchange for your charges being dropped?
First, let me answer absolutely not. And I said that under oath, under the threat of perjury today in court. I raised my right hand and I answered that question directly by the judge, Judge Ho. But also, you stated that the hearing was based on the actions of those leaving the Southern District of New York office. That is not accurate. The judge never stated that the hearing was because of that. He stated that the hearing was because he wanted to have an opportunity to hear directly from the prosecutor and from my attorney. At no time did he state that the reason we were in court was because of the actions of those who determined to leave the office instead of carrying out what they were told to do.
I will just note that the DOJ then appealed directly to the judge following those resignations late last week, and then that hearing was scheduled. Now, in light of everything that's developed as of the last week or so, your administration's ability to govern is being called into question. In fact, it was used as an argument in court today as to why the charges should be dropped, because they're a burden to your mayorship and to your candidacy as you run for re-election. Now, it's also being used by critics to support calls for your resignation or removal, especially following those 4 resignations of the deputy mayors earlier this week. What's your message to New Yorkers right now that reassures them that your case and everything surrounding it is not distracting you from doing the job of mayor?
Well, first, I really love my 4 deputy mayors, and I'm pretty sure they will have kind things to say about me as well. We've done some great work together, and I'm really disappointed to see them leave. But I respect when people want to make changes, no matter when it takes place. And if one wants to know how I'm going to manage the city, look at how I manage the city. When this first came to light, you heard the same usual suspects that are calling now. You heard them talk about Eric should step down. No, I stepped up. And what did we do? Record number of jobs, decrease unemployment in the city, looked at public safety, bringing down crime in the city, housing, city of Yes Man Pass. Listen, I was clear then and I'm clear now. You cannot be judged only by what you have done, but what you have overcome. And I'm going to continue to overcome, and I've showed that from the day I was elected, from COVID to migrants and asylum seekers to crime to our economy. We moved this city and put it back on the right track.
Yeah. Now, the governor says that she's going to wait until she gets that decision from the judge, until she decides whether or not to remove you from office, which is a power that she ultimately has. That would also be a historic move, first of its kind, never been done in New York's history. She did seek counsel yesterday from other city leaders and again has held off on making a decision on that front. You have a working relationship with Governor Hochul. How likely is it, do you think, that she'd ultimately make that move?
Well, I have a great relationship with the governor. We have some real W's, from the subway safety plan to her giving us $1 billion, part of the $5 billion that went into the city of Yes, what we have done around mental health. And how we have been able to regain school control in the city. And so she said something also today when the question was asked, do you believe the mayor cannot run the city or manage the city? She says, no, I don't believe that. anyone who is viewing this city through a clear set of eyes and the facts, not fiction, and not only their own personal agenda, they will see how well we've managed the city through crisis and during crises. And so I'm looking forward to continue my conversation with the governor. And I must be focused on my #1 primary agenda, and that is giving opportunities to working class people in the city.
Let's talk about the